Rob Smith Media here. My first interview on the new channel, and we're kicking it off with a bang. We couldn't have started any stronger. I'm joined with Shem Rock. Shem, how we doing, mate?
Yes. I'm good, brother. Just fucking cutting weight, bit skinny right now. All the hard work's done in the camp, and I'm just ready to smash some cunts at them.
So I'm going to try and pronounce your opponent's name. I'm going to butcher it, so I apologize to your opponent in advance. But you're fighting Abdullah Khodzaev. I'm going to go with that. I'm trying that. So talking about that matchup, what sort of things do you know about your opponent? Because the main thing I know about your opponent is similar to yourself. A lot of finishes. You've got a 100% finish rate. I think he's like 93%. So talk to me about this matchup.
Yeah, lad, he's 6-1. I think he's fought on UAE Warriors. He's fought on one championship. Even though he's 6-1, he's had a lot of amateur fights, so I think he's a little bit more experienced than his record shows if he was to look like on the Tapology, let's say. But I look at who he's fought because I don't know any of his amateur accolades. I just know he's had a lot of fights. I've never watched any of his amateur fights. Um, I don't think he really fought no one great, so it's hard to judge how good he is. He's a karate guy. He obviously likes to strike more than he likes to grapple. That's all I really know about him, lad. I'm not one of them, lad. I don't really care anyway. I don't really study too much into it. I'm going to show up. I'm going to do what I do regardless. It's a long night for the boy.
Yeah, you kind of give me that vibe of someone who you couldn't care less about your opponent. You're just focused on Shem. You do what Shem does best.
Yeah, that's it, lad. That's it.
And so you've been out of the cage almost a year now. So because I know you've been trying to be active. You've had fight cancellations. So what's it been like being had that almost a year out of the cage? What you've been like working on anything specific in camp, in training, trying to improve? What's that time off been like?
Yeah, it's been over a year, hasn't it? Because what was the last one? The last one was Poconi.
I think
Oh
that
no,
was June.
was that April or June? Was it April or
June.
June?
Yeah, June. Yeah,
Was it?
just shy of a year.
Yeah, lad, to be honest, I'm not one of them where it's like, if I don't have a fight, I'm not in the gym. I'm in the gym 3 times a day, 6 days a week, whether I've got a fight or I haven't got a fight. The only thing that changes, obviously, working specific things in fight camp, maybe the intensity is a bit higher, the sparring's a bit more fucking ramped up. But other than that, I'm in the gym anyway, so I feel like you are going to see improvements since the last fight. But you do every fight with me, and that's how you know I'm a guy who fucking lives it. Um, I'd say the time off, I was working a lot more boxing. My boxing's improved a lot, but so's everywhere, lad. So I don't know if it'll even shine, lad. I'll probably go out there and end up finishing the cunt quick, and you don't see any improvements. But to me, that is an improvement.
Well, yeah.
If you can get in there and get out there, like, it shows that you are still leveling up every time the caliber of opponents are leveling up and you're still running through people. But I'm also ready to have a fucking war with them, lad, and go the distance. So this is the fittest I've been, the strongest I've been, the best headspace I've been in. Like, I'm just ready, bro. So whatever he comes with, it's not gonna stop me, lad.
See, you mentioned headspace there. So as it's getting close to fight night, what sort of things are you doing mindset wise? Are you kind of just staying focused on your opponent, kind of just trying to stay as like relaxed as possible?
Um, to be honest, lad, I'm not really one of them who starts to stress or nothing. Like, this is what I love to do. This is what I enjoy. So the closer we get to the fight, the happier I am. Other than the
Mhm.
weight cut, lad, that's about it. But sometimes the weight cut's good also, like, 'cause it just puts you in that mindset, lad, that you just want to fucking kill someone, bro.
Kind of gives you that
Um,
like angry edge sort of thing.
Not angry. I'm not really an angry guy, lad, but it's just like you can't explain, lad. It's like a primeval state in it, lad.
Do you cut much weight when you fight?
Yeah, I think we all do, don't we, lad? Anyone who says they don't is probably lying, lad. I think we all do, lad. Otherwise, I'd be fighting at welterweight, wouldn't I?
Well, that's one thing I was going to mention next. I was seeing a little bit on like in the comments on Instagram, social media, on Twitter, and things. And your opponent has fought a welterweight before, and so I heard some people saying, "Oh, I might have the size advantage." But when you actually watch you fight, you're a big lightweight. So I personally don't see the size playing a factor. What do you think of that? Do you think he's gonna be much bigger than you on the night, or do you kind of think you'd be around the same size?
I think maybe he might be a little bit taller, where he's over 6 foot. But you'll see on the night, lad, when we want to talk size advantage, when I get in there, people will be like, fucking hell, he looks like he's rehydrated massive. Like, we both got away in at 70. There's only so much he can gain, there's only so much I can gain. But I can guarantee you this on the night he will not be heavier than me.
I want to talk about just like things outside the fight. You kind of had the MMA world on strings leading up to UFC London when you were posting about the Chris Duncan fight. So, what was the thought process there? Was it? I know I did an interview on Combat Sport UK with my good friend Brandon, and he was saying how you were just torturing his DMs, you were giving him nightmares. So, talking about that whole thing because you had everyone on strings.
Nah, he's all right, Chris Duncan. He had a good performance, didn't he, lad?
Oh, really good performance. I think he shut a lot of people up. He was came in as a big underdog.
Yeah, I think he should have got a bonus there, lad. I think he got robbed.
100%. Yeah, I was surprised we
Yeah,
didn't.
yeah, I don't know why he never got a bonus. What can I say, bro? It is what it is. I'm an Octagon fighter. I'm getting in the cage on Saturday. Not this Saturday, the next Saturday. UFC's in the past. That's a finished event. Get me wrong, it would have been nice to fight in London and fucking
Of course.
put the Shem show there. And I think anyone who was there live and watched the events know, like, you were missing some fucking
Oh,
it
100%. It was a bit,
factor.
yeah. Well, I was going to ask you about that because we saw that you had a little conversation with Dana White at the event.
Yeah, yeah.
Can you tell us what was said there?
Ask no questions here, no lies, lad.
Fair enough, fair enough. We'll save that for another day. But I want to talk about so obviously you are an Octagon fighting. Octagon it hasn't been back in the UK for a while, and I know how you said you don't mind fighting abroad. Is where is this next show? Is it back in
Germany,
Germany? Germany, yeah,
Munich.
yeah. And so when you fight over there, because I feel like you've must have fought in Germany quite a few times now. Do you kind of
No,
do
no,
the
this is the
German?
first Germany one.
Oh, is it your first Germany one? My
Yeah, I've
apologies.
done Czech Republic, Slovakia, and now Germany.
Right, okay. So, and I feel like wherever you go, you always get a buzz from the crowd, whether that be boos, whether that be cheers. And do you kind of thrive with that crowd energy? You seem like someone who really likes to get the crowd amped up when you fight.
It's nice, lad, to have a fucking an atmosphere in there, innit? And sometimes, lad, it's better to be booed than cheered because you just know, lad, the whole world's against you, lad, and it puts you even more in that fight or flight mode. And I feel like that's when I perform the most. Don't really know what to expect with the German crowd. I don't know if they're going to be cheering for me or they're going to be cheering for him because he's not German. I'm not German. So we'll see. But I wouldn't be surprised if I'm still the bad guy. I still get booed. Like, I would not be surprised, yeah.
Do you not mind playing the bad guy?
Um, don't know. It's weird for me, to be honest, lad, because, yeah, I'm loved in it. Like, everywhere I go in the UK, Ireland, people can relate to me. People love me. I'm just a normal fucking Scouser lad. I'm just a normal guy. But then it's almost like over there, they've got a perception of who I am and they don't like me. But I don't really give a fuck, lad, to be honest. I lose no sleep over it. Like, you see me in the street, you're still asking me for the picture, and this shows the real Norbert.
Well, I think you're spot on there. I think especially Scousers in particular, they do get a bad rap, and from my experience with Scouts like yourself, you've been very good with me. You gave me an interview back in when I first started, and that was like you were the biggest person interview at the time, so I do appreciate that. And like even like the likes of Paddy, Molly, I remember Molly at Media Day for UFC London. She was so nice, and like I remember before I've never interviewed Paddy one on one, and I'd never had the chance to be like a UFC sort of atmosphere where he was there. And when after Manchester when he won, I couldn't have liked him more, mate. It was just obvious that he's a young lad living his dreams, having a laugh. Like that's what I feel like, and I respect that so much because like you see these guys who take them so serious, and I appreciate it, but you got to have fun with it while you're here. You got to enjoy it, play at the crowd, like talk a bit of smack, and get people buzzing, and that's what you guys do. And I appreciate that side of the sport. I think we need more of that because I think it's what sells fights, it's what sells tickets, it's what me as a fan, it's what I pay to watch.
Yeah, it's it's a business, man. We gotta sell some shit. But I think maybe with some of the other guys, maybe when they try it, it's forced, innit? We're just being ourselves, lad. We don't even know we're doing it, lad. We're just scousers.
And talk to me about being a Scouser because obviously Liverpool won the league. I can imagine it's been like a non-stop party ever since Liverpool won the league, really.
Um, to be honest, lad. Ever since I found fighting, I don't really care about football no more. I don't even really watch it, lad. Like, obviously,
Mm.
I'm a Liverpool fan, but
You're a
to
fight
be
fan.
honest,
You're a fight fan
yeah,
first, sort of thing. Yeah.
yeah.
And so we'll go back to the fight against Khodzaev. Where do you think a win against him puts you in the division? Because you're sat, I think, at number 10 right now. A win, and I don't, is he, is his first fight in Octagon, but I feel like it doesn't matter if it doesn't matter if he's in Octagon, doesn't matter not. I think if a win, you probably fight up the rankings. Do you think that's the case?
I think I don't fight up the rankings because no one in the rankings wants to fight me. That's what I think. I've been like, you don't get to see what happens behind closed doors, but there isn't a name that I haven't been offered that I haven't said yet to. Unless I'm on fucking holiday and it's short notice or something, then I'm like, yeah, like it, lad. But other than that, every name that gets put to me, I say yeah. And then it comes back down the line, oh no, they said no. And then you see them fighting on the event, lad, and they're fighting some fucking crab. And you're like, that could have been me and him, and we could have sold a little show there, and we could have had a main event, co-main event slot. But who the fuck wants to go out there and know they're fighting a guy they can't beat? So I don't blame them, bro. And when I look at the division and I look at the rankings, bro, there's not a guy above me in the rankings that I go, oh yeah, he deserves to be there. Lad, I've gone from being ranked 4, 5, top of the table to now bottom 10th. Why do you think that is, bro? Cause what? Cause I'm not good enough, or it's all bullshit, lad. The rankings don't mean shit. Anyone who knows fighting knows that I'm the best in the division. Name someone better. Ronnie's left the division. He's gone to welterweight. I would have smacked him up. Kate has left the division. He's gone to featherweight. Won't defend his belt. I would have choked him out. Like the only two other good guys maybe you could talk about is like Agdi Sadari, Lam Ali. Lam Ali pulled out, and this is why I'm fighting Khodzaev. Fucking Agdi Sadari, I don't know what the fuck's going on with him. Is he there? Is he not there? Lad, I'm the best in the division, and no one can tell me otherwise. I don't give a fuck. And the only reason I'm fighting Khodzaev is because everyone else from 9 to 1 said no. And that's why I'm
And
fighting some guy on his debut from outside the promotion.
because I know there's been a bit of back and forth with you and Cuba Bannock, and that fight was scheduled. If you win on Smith 17, would you like to run that fight finally get settle that score with him?
I think it's not really my choice. I think it's Octagon's choice, isn't it? Like
Hmm.
I'll fight Bannock tomorrow. In fact, I'd be Khodzaev, walk out the cage and walk back in the cage and fight Bannock. I know I'm a nightmare for that cunt. I know I'd submit him in the first round. I know he's too slow, he's too dopey. He don't have the fight IQ. He don't have the wrestling. Like he's just not the level. But obviously there is a bit of unfinished something between me and him. I was supposed to fight him on my debut. He pulled out. I was supposed to fight him in December, and then I got injured in that one, and I pulled out. So I know there's another show straight after this one on Eden. I get an emphatic win. Maybe that fight would make sense. It's in his back garden. It's where I fought Piconi, fighting another fucking Bacon and Bannock. It makes sense to me, lad. But like I said, it's these things aren't up to me, innit? So sometimes the fans say shit to me, like, "Oh, why don't you fight blah blah then?" And I'm like, "Do you think I get to choose, lad? There's guys on the card who have turned down fighting me. Like, no Buchinger ever wanted to fight me multiple times. No fucking Topalai, no Nafuka, no none of them don't want to fight me, lad. And that's why you see them fighting other cats on the day, lad. But it is what it is. Whoever does want to go, I'm here, and I'll smash any one of them up.
And you're sharing the car with a good friend of yours. I'm actually speaking with him tomorrow. Is Dennis Frimpong. What do you think you expect from Dennis on the night?
He's got a good fight, lad. I think he's got a guy who on paper doesn't wrestle, doesn't grapple, and just comes to strike. But I think it's the same with a lot of Dennis's fights when you kind of get in front of him and you see how fucking awkward he is and how long he is and he doesn't get tired and he just keeps flowing and he's non-stop moving. I think at some point they end up grappling. So let's see, does this topper like come to grapple? I feel like he's going to get caught emotional a little bit. You've seen a lot in the face-to-face press conference stuff. I feel like the antagonising isn't over as well because we're going to have to do a presser the day before the fight or the day of the fight. I think that should be on paper a good win for Dennis, But obviously, he's got to go in there and do the business, hasn't he?
And one thing I'm curious with you is because certain fighters are different with it. You're very willing to get involved in the media. Like you're always doing interviews. You're active on social media. You interact with the fans. And I've even seen at London you were doing some bits for Rip Remo, kind of doing a bit of like with the fans and stuff. I like all that sort of stuff. What was the thought process behind getting involved with the media and building that sort of brand?
It's, to be honest, lad, there is no thought process. I'm just here, lad. I'm a fight fan still at the end of the day. I still watch everyone else's fights. I still, even sometimes if I don't go to the event, I'm still fucking getting up at 6, 7, 8 in the morning to watch other people's fights. If I didn't do this, I'd still be involved in the sport some way as a fan or whatever it may be. Fucking who knows, a journalist, whatever.
You'd be sitting here doing my job for me.
No, I don't think I'd do that. Like, well, I'd be in the sport. Like, definitely, I'd be a fan at least.
Yeah.
So, the fact that I'm like so heavily involved in the sport, it's not really a chore for me, lad. I just enjoy fighting, and
Yeah.
I think I understand fighting.
hmm my final question is, I've got a list of fighters here, and I'm going to try and see if you can sum up them with just one word. Right, so we'll start with Cuba Bannock.
Lanky,
Ivan Bachinga,
veteran,
Agi Sadari,
Dutch,
the champ Cater.
tiny,
And I've also mixed in a couple of UFC fighters. So Chris Duncan,
Scottish,
Chase Hooper,
sausage,
Terence McKinney,
parcel,
Paddy Fimlett,
the boy,
and Shem Rock.
Scouser.
Quality, mate. And so, but I just want to say, thanks for coming on. It's the first interview on my new channel. I'm kind of trying to do my own little thing, so I appreciate it. So we've kicked off with a bang. It couldn't have been much better to start off with it. So I just, I really do appreciate it, mate. Thank you very much.
Nice one, brother.
Right, I'll catch you later, mate. Best of luck on May 17th. Can't wait to watch.
Yes, lad.